Learn English easily. Chapter 1. The importance of parental involvement. In a busy city, there lived a boy named Lucas and his father, Jimmy. Jimmy was a very busy man, working all the time to provide a comfortable life for his family. Lucas's mother passed away a few years ago, and since then, Jimmy has been consumed by his work. Jimmy was an executive at a big company, and his responsibilities kept him away from home for long hours. Lucas needed his dad's love and attention, but Jimmy was too busy with work to give him those things. This made Lucas feel like he was not being cared for, and he began to feel very unhappy and lonely. At school, Lucas started behaving badly. He was feeling upset because his dad wasn't spending time with him, so he began to act differently to get attention. Lucas became very proud and stubborn. He wouldn't do what his teachers told him to do, and he acted like he knew better than everyone else. Lucas started spending time with friends who were not a good influence on him and began to do the wrong things too. Lucas felt comforted by playing video games and spending all his free time online. Since he was feeling lonely and unhappy, these games and online spaces made him feel better for a little while. Because Lucas was not paying attention to his schoolwork and was spending time with bad friends and video games, he started doing poorly in his classes. His grades went down because he wasn't studying or doing his homework. Lucas's other friends and family members, as well as those who knew him well, saw that he was acting strangely. They may not have known the exact cause of his behavior, but they could tell something was wrong. Jimmy received calls from Lucas's teachers about his son's attitude, but always found an excuse to brush them off. "I'm busy with work. I can't deal with this right now," he'd say. He never took the time to sit down and talk to Lucas about what was happening in his life. Lucas's arrogance grew, and so did the distance between father and son. One day, after a particularly heated argument, Lucas yelled, "You don't care about me. You're never here." Jimmy, though hurt, responded in anger, "I'm working hard for you. Don't you see all the things I provide for you? You're just an ungrateful child." Lucas's eyes welled up with tears, and he ran to his room, slamming the door. Jimmy was left standing, realizing the gravity of their relationship's deterioration. The days turned into weeks, and the situation between Lucas and Jimmy didn't improve. Lucas's behavior was now affecting his health. He wasn't eating properly and wasn't sleeping well. He immersed himself in social media and online communities, looking for validation and understanding, which he didn't receive from his father. Finally, Jimmy's sister, Aunt Lucy, intervened. She sat Jimmy down and talked to him about Lucas's troubles, explaining that kids these days need not just material comforts, but emotional support and guidance. You need to understand him, spend time with him, and be there for him. He needs a father, not just a provider, Lucy insisted. Jimmy's eyes were opened, and he realized the mistake he'd made. He took a leave of absence from work to reconnect with his son Slowly but surely, he began to understand Lucas's world. They talked about school, friends, hobbies, and dreams. Jimmy even tried playing video games with Lucas, bridging the gap between their two worlds. It wasn't an easy journey, and Lucas's arrogance didn't disappear overnight. But with patience, love, and time, the wall between them began to crumble. They attended counseling together, addressing issues like communication, trust, and understanding. Lucas opened up about feeling neglected and unloved, while Jimmy shared his fears and reasons for working so hard. As months went by, their relationship healed. Lucas's grades improved, and he became more respectful and considerate. Jimmy learned to balance work and family life, never again taking Lucas for granted. The story of Lucas and Jimmy serves as a lesson about the importance of parental involvement, understanding, and communication. In a world filled with distractions and obligations, the emotional needs of children must not be neglected. By making time for each other and striving to understand the unique challenges that modern kids face, parents and children can forge a connection that lasts a lifetime. Chapter 2. A Promise to Quit. In the small and friendly town of Greensville, there lived a kind and gentle man named Peter. Peter was well known and loved by his neighbors for his friendly wave and hearty laugh. He had a good job at the local factory, and he worked hard every day to take care of his family. Peter lived with his beautiful wife, Mary, and his young son, Jake. Jake was an energetic 8-year-old boy with sparkling eyes full of curiosity and joy. He loved playing with his friends, reading books, and, most of all, spending time with his dad. But there was something that worried Jake and Mary deeply. Peter had a very bad habit of smoking. He had been smoking for many years, and he smoked many cigarettes every day. The terrible habit had caused problems in Peter's lungs, and he often had a nasty cough that just wouldn't go away. Sometimes he would wheeze and struggle to breathe. Mary was very worried about Peter's health. She would often talk to him, her voice filled with concern, saying, "Peter, please stop smoking. It's hurting your lungs, and I'm afraid it will make you very sick." Peter would listen to his wife, nod his head, and promise to try to quit. But the days would go by, and Peter would still be smoking. Little Jake was also very worried about his daddy. He loved his dad more than anything in the world, and he didn't want him to be sick. Many times, Jake would go to his father, his eyes wide and serious, and ask him to please stop smoking. "Daddy, I want you to be healthy, so you can play with me," he would say, his voice soft and sweet. "Please stop smoking those yucky cigarettes." Peter loved his son and his wife very much, and he hated to make them worry. But quitting smoking was so hard for him. He had tried many times to stop, but he always seemed to start again. He felt trapped and didn't know how to break free from the bad habit. Jake knew his daddy was having a hard time, so he thought and thought about what he could do to help. One day, he had an idea. He went to his dad and said, "Daddy, let's make a deal. If you stop smoking, I'll eat all my vegetables, even the ones I don't like. We can help each other be healthy." Peter looked at his son's sincere face and felt a strong desire to try again. He hugged Jake tightly and said, "Okay, son, it's a deal. We'll do it together." The next few weeks were very hard for Peter. He wanted a cigarette so badly, but he thought of his promise to Jake and the loving look in his son's eyes. He fought the urge to smoke, and with Jake's encouragement, he began to feel stronger. Jake was true to his word, too. He ate all his vegetables, even the Brussels sprouts, and he cheered his dad on every day. "You can do it, Daddy," he would say. "I believe in you." Slowly, Peter's cough began to get better. He didn't wheeze as much, and he had more energy to play with Jake. He felt proud and happy, and he knew he was doing the right thing for his family. As the months went by, Peter's health continued to improve. He was a non-smoker now, and he felt like a new man. Mary was so relieved and proud of her husband, and Jake was delighted to have his healthy daddy back. Peter's story is a simple one, but it's filled with important lessons about love, family, and never giving up. It shows that, even when something seems very hard, with the support of the ones we love, we can do almost anything. And most of all, it shows that sometimes the biggest changes in our lives start with a simple promise to someone we love.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more.